Welcome to XIO Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 234. Xiao Yan's first target was the 10,000 medicinal mountain range. This mountain range was one of the 3 red-circled areas. Although he did not know if the thing he needed was here, he would need to make a trip to it no matter what. The size of the Pill realm was less than 1/3 the size of the Pill region, perhaps because of its gradual decay. However, one should not underestimate this 1/3. With the natural treasures in this realm, it was likely that there was not a single faction on the continent not interested in it. This space was equivalent to owning an endless, precious medicinal ingredient warehouse. From this, one could tell how wealthy the Pill Tower was. With Xiao Yan's speed, he would, at the very most, need 1 day and 1 night to traverse this Pill realm. Therefore, Xiao Yan gradually arrived near the 10,000 medicinal mountain range that had been circled on the map. Xiao Yan had passed quite a number of other competitors along the way. Most of them moved further away upon seeing him. Clearly, they were afraid that he would suddenly attack. This kind of thing was not rare within the Pill realm. After all, everyone here was a competitor. If there was one less person, one would have an even greater chance of coming in first. Hence, everyone maintained caution and ill intent toward one another. Xiao Yan was unconcerned about the people who avoided him. These people were unable to threaten him. Hence, he did not attack them like the large man had attacked people earlier. After an indifferent glance, his body hurried past them. Of course, not all of the competitors ran away. Along the way, Xiao Yan met a couple of experts who had similarly reached the Dozong class. Their strengths might not be comparable to Huang Yi, but they were not much weaker. Moreover, the most important thing was that most of these people were quite old. Clearly, all of them should be renowned members of the older generation. Xiao Yan did not take the initiative to attack these people. Fortunately, these people understood the situation. They were vaguely able to sense that Xiao Yan was not someone that they could offend when he passed them by. Hence, all of them moved aside after exchanging glances with him from some distance away. Without these people blocking him, Xiao Yan's journey was extremely peaceful. Other than being attacked by 2 strong magical beasts along the way, everything proceeded smoothly. The 2 magical beasts that suddenly attacked Xiao Yan did not cause him to feel surprised. He had discovered that the magical beasts here seemed to be even wilder and more fierce than those magical beasts on the Doqi continent, perhaps because of the violent seed that was mixed with the natural energy. Other than the 2 magical beasts that had launched a sneak attack, Xiao Yan was not blocked by anything else. Hence, after traveling for 5 to 6 hours, the 10,000 medicinal mountain range finally appeared in his eyes. The 10,000 medicinal mountain range, just this name alone told one how extraordinary this mountain range was. After Xiao Yan glanced at the towering mountain range, he felt a little absent-minded because he had discovered that the energy within the mountain range was really too dense. The mountain range was like an enormous dragon had laid down in a meandering manner. The air of the mountain range was permeated with a dense fog. This fog was not natural. Instead, it was agglomerated from a dense energy. Magical beasts could be heard continuously roaring in this pernicious mountain range. The roars were all filled with a constant tone of violence. Xiao Yan's figure remained suspended in the sky on the edge of this mountain range. He knit his eyebrows and looked over the mountain range that was covered in fog. Even though he had yet to step into this mountain range, he was able to rely on his sharp spiritual perception to sense that this mountain range was not friendly ground. While Xiao Yan was musing, waves of noisy voices were emitted from below. He was startled. He gradually descended toward a slight slope outside of the mountain range. There were quite a number of tents standing there. Quite a number of human figures were partially visible among these tents. These people, are all competitors of the Pill Gathering? Xiao Yan was involuntarily a little stunned when he saw these people clustered here. The competitors in other areas either started fighting or fleeing when they saw each other, yet these people were living peacefully together? Xiao Yan slightly knit his brows. He mused for a moment before moving his body and landing a short distance away from the hill. After which, he rushed up the hill. Surprisingly, no one stopped him from climbing the hill. Some people withdrew their eyes after taking a glance at him. This scene caused Xiao Yan to be exceptionally surprised. The doubt within their hearts became more intense as he slowly walked to the middle of the hill. However, he was a little surprised to find that there was a large group of people gathered a short distance away. It was likely that there was at least 100 of them. Xiao Yan's mouth widened as he looked at this large group of people. He immediately frowned. Just why were so many competitors gathered here? Everyone, I think that a red circle should also have been drawn on your map pointing out this location. The interior of the 10,000 medicinal mountain range does indeed possess the items on your task list. However, you should also be aware that the things within the mountain range are not items that you can take just because you want to. A familiar voice was suddenly emitted from the group when Xiao Yan approached. Song Qing, why is he here? Xiao Yan lifted an eyebrow upon hearing this voice. His vision slipped through the gaps in the crowd and landed on a young figure standing on a large rock. Surprisingly, that figure was the person called the youngest elder of the Pill Tower, Song Qing. Since Song Qing was on the rock, it was likely that Cao Ying was also here. Xiao Yan turned his eyes as this thought flashed across his heart. Immediately, his eyes paused on a green rock amidst the crowd. Cao Ying, who appeared exceptionally enchanting in a black-colored dress, was seated on it. Her hand was playing with a thread of black hair. That lazy expression of hers caused some fiery hot gazes from around to continuously look at her. This woman was the kind of beauty that would bring disaster to countries and cities no matter where she went to. Looks like they have all gathered at this place because this is the 10,000 medicinal mountain range. Xiao Yan's eyes turned towards the mountain range, which appeared mysterious under the cover of the fog. He also nodded slowly. He could sense that there were quite a lot of powerful existences within it. Quite a number of people agrees with Song. All of them had anxiously charged into the mountain range earlier. However, they ended up fleeing after being chased out by many magical beasts. Some of those who were too slow to flee had even died in the mountain range. Based on what I know, there are many magical beasts within the 10,000 medicinal mountain range. Moreover, the one commanding these magical beasts is an ultimate beast that has already reached rank 7 peak and has half a foot in rank 8. This fierce beast has used a special method to transport the many natural treasures around the 10,000 medicinal mountain range into its cave. Among them includes many of the items on the task list we need. Song Qing stood on the large rock, looked all around him, and informed everyone in a deep voice. Being a member of the Pill Tower, his understanding of the Pill realm was far from what ordinary people could compare with. Numerous uproars sounded after everyone heard Song Qing's words. Even Xiao Yan's expression slightly changed. A magical beast with half a foot in rank 8. That fighting strength would definitely be comparable to a true Do Zun. It was not going to be an easy task snatching things from the mouth of this fierce beast. Even he would find it troublesome to kill. With his current strength, it was naturally not difficult to kill the fierce beast if he used the extermination lotus flame. However, he would definitely enter a weary state after that. In this kind of place, where enemies were everywhere, Xiao Yan clearly understood what it meant to enter a weary state. Beneath that fierce beast are many powerful magical beasts. If we act alone, it will be impossible to obtain the task items unless you have reached the Do Zun class. Therefore, I suggest that all of us temporarily cooperate with each other and deal with the fierce beast. Once we defeat it, the remaining magical beasts will scatter. Song Qing ignored the surrounding noise and continued speaking. What he said was true. With that fierce beast within this 10,000 medicinal mountain range, all of them could forget about obtaining the items they had been tasked to obtain. This principle was something the hearts of those present clearly understood. After a brief moment of hesitation, all of them slowly nodded in agreement. Despite them nodding, none of them were fools. Song Qing might have put it nicely, but if one were to truly trust others at this moment, one must really feel that they had lived for too long. I know what everyone is worried about. We can make an agreement. Before we have finished off the fierce beast, we must not attack our companions. Anyone who breaks this agreement will be dealt with by the combined effort of the rest. What do you say? Song Qing was naturally aware of what these experienced people were thinking. He immediately let out a faint smile before speaking. The people present faced each other upon hearing this. They mused for a moment before expressing their agreement. If they were unable to find a solution, it was likely that none of them would be able to complete their task. Hence, agreements were made among this crowd. Those present were aware of Song Qing's status in the Pill Tower. Therefore, his words were able to sway others. Song Qing finally smiled upon hearing their agreement. He turned his head, and his eyes landed on the lazy-looking Cao Ying. A faint pride was visible in them. Being able to subdue so many outstanding alchemists from all over the continent in front of a beauty was not something an ordinary person could achieve. Xiao Yan did not feel anything in the face of Song Qing's incitement. However, if he really managed to gather this group of people together, it would be quite a gathering of strength. It would cause the fierce beast of the 10,000 medicinal mountain range some trouble if this group were to block it. At that time, he might be able to understand the situation and gain an advantage in the chaos. As long as he obtained the necessary items he had been asked to find, he was too lazy to bother with the others. Xiao Yan fell deep into thought for a moment before nodding without leaving a trace. He was just about to turn around when the sound of rushing wind suddenly resounded a short distance away. His eyes looked over, and he saw a couple of figures rushing over from the distance. The leader was the white-clothed young man Xiao Yan remembered very well. There was a faint purple-colored metal fan in his hand. Xiao Yan's eyes immediately narrowed as he glared at this person. The corner of his mouth was lifted into a cold smile. "We have finally met, huh?"